Well, we cut in all the way to the newspaper. You can show the newspaper, and measured out the depth. It looks like we're about 8 inches thick on our thermal mass, which is about what we wanted. So I'm looking forward to getting all the rest of this done, but it's looking good. I'll put a mortar and plaster shelf in here up level with the fire brick pretty soon, but that'll be later. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta finish the door first, put the handles on it and all that, do some shaping. Okay, so I finished the door, and I'm now in the process of cutting out the doorway. The outer layer of cob is almost dry. So is the inner layer. It didn't dry completely before I put the outer layer on. Let's take a look at the thickness. It's about 8 inches thick, like I had hoped it would be. That was the original plan. So that's a lot of thermal mass. The sand and newspaper mold is still in there. I'm hesitant to take it out until I really feel like it's all firmly dry. I realize that other people take theirs out right away and aren't afraid like I am, but I don't want to ruin all of this good work. So this process of shaping the door involves creating a beveled inward edge that's smaller on the inside than the outside, which means I'm going to, well, the reason we do that, I should say first, is to more easily fit the door snug in the doorway than if I just made a straight in opening. Well, that would never really feel snug. So this means that there will be an outer dimension on this opening that's larger than the door, possibly about that much. But you don't. But you want to do it gradually. You don't want to do like I did right at that spot. Do the maximum outer dimension immediately and then dig in. You want to go gradual, because I'll tell you from a long experience of working with clay when I was an artist and art teacher back in my younger days, it's a lot easier to subtract clay than to add clay on. Same with this cob. I'm calling it clay. It's cob. Anyway, so I want to go all the way around and cut until it gradually fits in the doorway. And gosh, so that's a heavy door made out of myrtle wood. I'm in that process now. As you can see, it's going to sit on the fire bricks just about 1.5 inches, I think, to 2 inches in from the edge, where I'm going to have the plaster shelf, and so I'm going to have a ridge that it will sit up against, but I have to do that and keep putting the door on gradually so I get it just right. I don't want to mess this up. I've gone this far, 2 months of work, so I'm not going to mess this up. Okay, more later. Well, we got our first snow a couple days ago. Didn't have anything really left to do on the oven except the final coat of plaster, which I still don't know if I can do that in the winter. This may have to sit until spring or some one of those winter thaws we get here in the northern Rockies when you get up into the 40s and 50s for a few days. I might try that. We'll see. So that's where we're at now. The canopy collapsed in the snow overnight before I could really do anything about it. We do have a kit on order from before this happened, of a gazebo. Decided to go with a kit instead of our usual finding materials around here and building things ourselves, because we were just exhausted from doing this during harvest season, doing both at the same time. It was time to just give up and buy a kit. And we'll get it covered. It's supposed to arrive next Wednesday, and put it together with the kids' help, and no more collapsing in snow. These canopies weren't meant to hold snow, just rain, you know. Okay, that's it. That's where we're at now. And we will move forward and fire up the oven whenever we're allowed to in the future. Well, we're now into December, first week of December, having a wonderful few days of thaw so we can work again. And yeah, it's up near 60 degrees from being in the 30s and much lower for a while. And so this is the gazebo we built to cover the dome, the little cob oven there, and keep it from getting harmed by rain and snow and ice and all that. It's so solid though, I don't know what could harm it. But anyway, during that cold spell, the sand inside the oven froze, and most of the oven cob on the outside is dried, but in the inner parts it's still wet. And so we've just come to the point where the sand is unfreezing. I've been chipping it, as you see, with a hammer and chisel and all kinds of tools. My little gardening tool, the twister tool that I dig in the garden with. It's just getting to the point where we can make progress now, getting that frozen sand out. I put some hot coals from the campfire there in yesterday as I saw it was starting to thaw. I tried to speed it up a little. I put some hot coals in, and that helps some. And now with this warm weather, I expect the sand to thaw out completely. Maybe today, maybe by tomorrow morning. I'll keep the door, this door off of it, and keep the warm air moving in there to melt the ice deep inside. So that's where we're at now. We've resigned to the actuality that we will not be able to put the plaster coating with our beautiful ceramic tiles on there till spring. We're not going to get the couple of weeks of warm weather that we would need for that to dry without cracking. We're not going to get that till probably sometime in March, maybe April. So that's when we'll be able to use our oven, when that time comes, and we're okay with that. We've lived this long, we're old folks, and we lived this long without an adobe oven, and we can wait a few more months. Okay, but I'm loving it. It's beautiful. When we get all that sand out, I'll be able to tap the fire bricks back into place that have been jiggling around a little with all this hammer and chisel action and all the other stuff I've been doing. So everything is going to be fine. I'm kind of finishing off the doorway, even getting it more custom fit to the wooden door, and then we just let it dry and wait till spring to put the final plaster coating on. The plaster is just a finer version of Cob. It's still about 2/3 to 3/4 sand, really, but finer sand. None of the pebbles and little rocks or gravel in there. And we'll talk about the plaster when we put it on in the spring, but you'll see it's going to look really nice. Okay, that's it for now. We're up to April 21st now, and I'm finally ready to put the plaster on, and our beautiful ceramic tiles, which I'll show you in a minute. Right now, what I've been doing just now is dampen the surface so that the plaster will stick to this dried cob. It really does get damp. Okay, the plaster is just really finely sifted sand and clay. As you can see here, it's got none of those little pebbles that the cob had. I didn't put any straw in. It will adhere to the straw that's sticking out of the cob. and it should work fine without additional. We only put on about a 1/4 inch of plaster, and then we will set these beautiful Mexican ceramic tiles in. You just push them in. These are less than 1/4 inch thick, so we just go a little thicker than that. This is not only is it sand and clay finely sifted and mixed together with water, but I put turmeric in the water to make a dye, so that this will be a little more orangish in color than our gray cob there, as if all goes well. It takes a lot of turmeric. Most people probably wouldn't use this technique unless you wanted to use up a lot of turmeric. I probably used up one little bottle of it and one bag of it. And I don't know how many ounces, or it might have been a pound altogether. And turmeric's a pretty strong dye, but you can see there's a little color in this compared to the plain gray. We'll see how it works out. So I will start now, and then we'll turn the camera off. But anyway, you just slap it on and it'll stick. I'm having it go down to the rocks underneath the previous cob, and it should be enough. If I start to run out of plaster, and you can see it here in our tub how much I got. It's about a 1/3 of this size of a tub, 2 feet in diameter tub, and I got an electric mixer as a prize for some work I did. And so this time, unlike when we were mixing all of that cob by hand with shovels, this time I got to mix up the plaster with electricity, just because I'm old. If I was young, I'd do it without the electricity. But anyway, so there it is. If I start to run out, I'll get some more sifted sand and clay, and the turmeric content will go down. So the back side of this might end up being a little more gray than the front side, and that's okay. I'm starting all the way around the door and a little ways into the doorway, overlapping, and will work my way to the opposite side. So there you go. I'm not going to make this a long, boring video like I've done with all the rest of it. Although I really don't care how bored people are, or if they want to shut it off, or they don't have the attention span. They'd rather watch a 2.5-hour movie about car chases and explosions. Go ahead. This is for people who care. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep you posted when we get this further along. So I didn't finish yesterday putting the plaster on, but this gives us an opportunity to see the color contrast between the plaster that was dyed with turmeric and the raw Cob's color, which is basically the color of clay. And this morning light really shows the colors, and I wanted to get this before I put the rest of the plaster on, just to see in this light the color. And the colors of the pretty tiles too, and the wooden door. Okay. Well, it's hard to say finished after so long a time. We began it about 8 months ago. I thought it would only take a month, and now we're 7 months exactly after my original planned due date on my wife's birthday in September. And take a look at this. Got all the plaster and the, sorry about my shaky hand there, the tiles all in. It's looking pretty good. Let's walk all the way around it. Let's see. It's a pretty bright light, isn't it? So I'm just about to fire it up for the first time. Take a look in this big container that I mixed the plaster in. You can see that just eyeballing it, I mixed about the exact amount of plaster needed with just a little bit left over, which I can mix with my Cob mortar and do a little touch-up mortar work between the rocks. So it's just a little touch-up left to do. And I can fire it up now. I think I'll take my cork there out of the smoke hole and start making a fire. Yeah, the smoke hole is a little bit wider than that cork at the bottom, but cork size at the top there, and we'll see how that works and whether or not I need to make it any bigger. Lighting it up for the first time. I don't want it to burn too fast because there's still a lot of newspaper in there from the sandcastle thing. So if it just gets started nice and slow, that's probably the best. If it starts going too fast, I'll put the door on and that'll put it out. So there it goes. Okay.
Can I turn it up?
You can stop it.
There's no food in there. Come on. There's no food in there.
Beautiful ceramic tiles from Mexico. Now the oven soot that comes up with the smoke gets on the tiles at the top, but you can't see it now because it wipes off real easy with just a damp cloth. I tried it, or you could use a sponge and keep your tiles nice and shiny. Well, that's a bonus, I guess. I'm glad we can do that. Yeah, we got a lot of tiles pretty cheap online, and so I had enough to go all the way around the oven. So this is what I did. Kind of wacky. Still have a little bit of Cob mortar work to do in here, down in between the rocks. Some touch-up work. So not totally done yet, but I'll get it done. Got a cork in the smoke hole at the top, and we thought it might burn up in the fire, but as you can see, it's holding up okay so far after one fire. I imagine all that heat, it'll deteriorate. You put this in when you're trying to seal up the oven to cook with. Now the fire is to heat the thermal mass. Once the thermal mass is heated up, all you need are the hot coals, and you don't need flames. Here, I'll put that cork right back there. There it is. And if you look at the old Horno adobe ovens in the Southwest, in the Pueblos, they don't have chimneys either. I've seen photos of some that have little tiny holes like ours does at the top now, but the smoke comes out through the doorway just fine, goes up, and then you seal it with the door. Okay, I'll turn this off.
Dad is preparing the oven for pizza number 2 to go in. This is legendary pizza maker Ty Phoenix with his
pepperoni and pineapple.
Pepperoni and pineapple pizza. Looks pretty amazing. Combo.
Okay, gonna have to use one of these.
Well, we've already got one fabulous Hawaiian style pizza.
Cooking up.
Cooking. It's only been in for a minute or two.
Okay.
Comes the next one.
Oh, brother. I'm not used to that. Okay.
We almost went viral for that.
America's Funniest Home Video.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna put the door back on.
Alright. In a few minutes, those are gonna be coming out. Nice and delicious and toasty for Mother's Day.
There. Alrighty. It's not done.
Yeah.
It went in about 1 o'clock. So it's not a super fast thing. The floor is only about 200. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay. I better put on this thing. So, the first pizza is ready. Soon more to come.
Looking good.
Looks pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's pizza number 1.
Let me get this oven in the back. I want you to reenact this. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Oh, do you want me to get one on your real camera?
Okay, and I'm gonna put this one in the back and check on one of those other 2. Yeah, you know,
I'll get one
that
on.
doesn't
I'll send you
matter
this one,
how
but
many
I'll get one on your real
pictures I get.
How are those?
This one's almost done. That's pretty close.
This will be part of the video I'm making.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one like 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wait till you cut that one open and see if it's done all the way through.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it looks good. But
Yeah, the mushrooms look good too.
I wonder if I should flip that other one around.
Oh, Dad, one side's still doughy.
Oh, well, what should we do? Put it back?
Or a little crispy, I guess. Never mind, it's not doughy.
It's not doughy this side. It's good.
Are they just saying that to make me feel
It's just not crispy, but it's not doughy. Grandma had to test it.
Cooked. It's somewhere in between.
It's good.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, even though I know you're a real nice person who likes to say nice things.
It's not like raw meat at least. It's not cooked all the way through.
Hard to cut with a pizza cutter on square or rectangular pan.
Yeah, but I have to have it out to turn the other one.
Well, you don't need to turn it off.
Yeah, let me try it. One more time. That's not turning.
Oh, okay. You look like you have a lot of...
Okay. This one, we'll give it
Looking good.
Then I gotta stop opening the door up.
You getting this narration?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, anybody who wants a pizza like this?
Do you want to try it first, Barb? No, I'm sure it's fine.
I'll try this piece right here.
Excited to try it.
As a mother, I will try it.
Ooh, Hawaiian.
So you're sure that got cooked all the way?
Yeah, there, take a look. Just maybe.
Oh, it's got a nice wood flavor to it.
Was it good, Grandma?
Pardon?
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Very good.